The professional bull riders are coming to Lincoln this weekend as part of the PBR Velocity Tour, and one of those bull riders is Gordon, Nebraska's very own Connor Halverson. Connor, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, there's a lot of different tours and challenges within the PBR. Tell us a little bit about the Velocity Tour in particular and what makes it unique.
Yeah, so the Velocity Tour is just a notch down from the Unleash the Beast tour. It's right in the middle of all the tours, and it's one of those that maybe if you haven't been doing so good throughout the year, then you get bumped down and kind of have to work your way back up, or you work your way up to that point, and you're trying to get to the Premier Tour. So it's just kind of right there in the middle of everything, and that's pretty much what the Velocity Tour is.
Absolutely. Well, you're lucky in that you get to experience so many different PBR events across the country. But for someone who has never attended a PBR event before, how would you describe that experience?
I describe it. It's one of those things. A lot of people that have never been to one that have came, um, they always come back. It's some of the best bull riders in the world going head to head with some of the best bulls in the world, and you know the they're rocking out the music, and the entertainers are hilarious, and it's just a good night, and everybody can enjoy the show.
Absolutely. Well, we have a few more days to prepare here this week before the event in Lincoln. What are you most looking forward to, or what are some goals that you have for this weekend's event?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to being able to finally compete, close to home, and a lot of my family will be there with me, so that'll be really nice, and I'm my goal, and everything I have set forward for this weekend is just to come in and stay on my bulls, and win Lincoln.
Absolutely. Well, that's spoken like a true Western Nebraskan, saying that you're close to home from Gordon to Lincoln. So I get a real kick out of that. Um, well, your professional career has seen some pretty high highs over the last 5 or so years, qualifying for the World Finals, taking part in the teams competition, you name it. Tell us a little bit about where your desire to ride bulls comes from.
It was just something I always watched on TV when I was little. I always watched the PBR, and that's always where I wanted to go. I knew I wanted to ride bulls and go to the PBR, and I think that's where most of it stemmed from. And I started riding sheep and calves and stuff like that, and it never stopped.
Yeah. Well, obviously, as you prepare for this weekend, you hope to see your name by a good draw. Are there any bulls in particular that you're hoping you'll get to ride this weekend?
No, the Velocity Tour is a little different. Other than the Unleash the Beast, you'll know most of the bulls there. Velocity Tour, they have two tours going on each weekend. So and they don't always have the same bulls. It's usually a lot of the same, like, different ones every weekend. So I honestly don't know what's going to be there and what's not. So, but I do still hope I get a good one, whatever it may be.
Yeah, well, it'll be a good surprise either way. Well, obviously, we wish you the most success this weekend, but tell us about your plans after this weekend and some of your goals for the rest of 2025.
Yeah, so after this weekend, it's not going to slow down anywhere. It's going to be nonstop every weekend, and the end goal is just is make the finals is the goal, and then obviously it's always the end goal to win a world champion buckle, but that's the end goal. But as far as moving forward to this year is just making the finals, and then making the most of that.
To our knowledge, you're the only Nebraskan competing this weekend. Is that right?
To my knowledge,
Okay.
I,
Awesome.
I
Well,
think I
Well, let this be inspiration for anyone watching this. Come out to Lincoln this weekend, cheer on our lone Husker Cowboy. We'll include full details and information about this weekend's PBR Velocity Tour on our website, ruralradionetwork.com.